What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, finally, it's time to start working on this 1994 Ford Mustang GT with a 347 stroker and a supercharger that was underneath salt water in one of the recent Florida hurricanes. And to help us with this, we got a friend over here. You guys know Monkey Wrench Mike?
Boom, boom. Yeah, we're making noises back here.
We're about to, he's so excited. He already started without me. So let's jump into this. Let's take a look at what we got, and then we'll try to figure out exactly what we got to do to get it running. So here it is. I paid something like, I think $2,800 for this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Stupid cheap.
Yeah.
And I got a hold of the previous owner, and he didn't have a lot to say. He didn't seem very interested in talking about the car, but he told me a few things about it. He owns a speed shop in Florida, and unfortunately this car was on the coast, like on the west coast of Florida. So it was definitely saltwater flooded. And he told me in very short terms, saltwater flood.
That was all.
That's how he spoke. It was very short. Probably bad memory, you know. I'm sure he's going through a lot. But he said he spent $20,000 on the build. He said it is a 347 stroker. He said he just installed a brand new transmission. He said it's brand new, but he didn't tell me what style of transmission's in it, so I have no idea. And that's it.
That's all we know.
That's it. It has a supercharger.
Yeah.
And it clearly says right here, Supercharged Mustang GT.
Yep.
We went out today and bought a battery.
Got a good one.
Threw a battery in it.
Global power.
We were hoping we were going to be able to just, fire it up, drive it into the shop and go, oh, wow, look, it runs. Looking down here, there's some rust all over the alternator pulley, so you can pretty well rest assured that water got at least this high. And I'd be willing to bet that intake probably sits somewhere right around there. It's got some hooker headers, shorties, but nice looking headers nonetheless down there, if you can even see them. Crazy thick plug wires. Take a look at these bad boys, man. And they're labeled, which is super nice. You've got a high energy E-core coil from Ford, and you've got an MSD distributor. And what else we got? We got this. That's
only one of them.
It's only one of them. The other one's missing. You got this here, which I'm assuming is some kind of a miniature oil catch can. It's got a screw on. I don't even know. I'm assuming that's some kind of a oil catch can that would probably replace where the PCV system used to be on this. Manual transmission, obviously, and let's see if it's aluminum radiator. I'm just now catching that.
Nice.
Yeah, aftermarkets. Let's see if it's got coolant. Boom!
No,
he jumped. He jumped.
Stop. Ooh.
Oh, salt water.
Anything swimming in there?
Copper. There's stop leak. Uh-oh, why is stop leak in there, I wonder? There we go. I don't think water got over the power steering pump. No. Fluid looks good. And what else we got? Oil. That would be a good thing to check, right?
Where's your rag? Here.
Oh, man. Let's see. Oh.
It kind of changes color.
Actually, Mike, it's actually right at the full mark.
Where, right there?
Yeah. So wipe it off and
Pull.
God dang, what kind of oil? That's like grease.
I got a good grip.
She wasn't letting go. All right, let's I thought that water got in this engine, but I may be reconsidering that now. Let's see where it's.
Does that help?
That's right at the full mark, Mike.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's right. That's literally right at the full mark. Oh, tell me water didn't get in this engine.
Water did not get in this engine.
All right, so first thing we did is we took the intake hose off of the supercharger right here. And I'm not going to lie, I am a little concerned about what... Let me take this light out of here. We really don't need that. I'm a little concerned with what I'm seeing in here. Do you guys see those fins? What? What happened in here, right?
Yeah.
Most of them look fine. It doesn't look like any salt water was in here. There's no corrosion. But take a look right there, man. That is chewed up something fierce. How does that even happen?
Now you can get it to move though, so that's kind of good.
Yeah, we got it to move just a little bit by putting a 13 on the end of the pulley there. And I mean, we got it to move just a hair. I don't think, honestly, any salt water got in this engine. I really don't. I still want to take like the rear plug out of that one. That looks like it's an easy one to get to. And put the bore scope in there just in case water came up like the Cobra. It came up through the exhaust and it got into the open valves on the rear of the engine. There's no water in the oil that I can tell on this one. It's not overfilled. Doesn't look like any salt water got into here. Same thing with the tube down here. If you look down in there, there's nothing in there at all. I'm going to leave it disconnected though, just in case. I don't want to suck anything up that could be in there. Well, I got in and I removed one of the plugs, and we have some terrible news.
It's fatal.
As I expected, just like with the Cobra, it's you know what it is? I think it's because the engines kind of sit like this, angled down.
Okay.
And the water comes through the exhaust, and that's the first cylinders. If the valves are open or if they're leaking at all, that's where it's going to go. So this one may not be savable, guys. All right. Are you ready to see what my test long?
Let me get the tissue.
My test long has the verdict right here, guys. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And do you see that beautiful cross hatching? Are you kidding me?
That's gorgeous.
This engine looks like it's in incredible shape. Let me grab that. Yeah, let's see if I can. There you go.
See?
Look at the cross hatching pattern on that. That is just beautiful. And look at those gorgeous pistons.
That's
Look,
really clean.
It's incredibly clean. I'm feeling so much better, Mike.
Yeah?
Could it really just be throw a starter on it and down the road we go?
That would be so nice.
Is that what you want to do?
Finally, some good news.
You want to just say screw taking all the rest of these spark plugs out, screw taking the what we're taking out, the cooling fans and the spark plugs and the wires, and let's just throw a starter on it and crank it.
Let's just try to start it now and see what the starter does.
Start it now?
Yeah. No, let's not.
Start.
I'm calling your bluff.
It almost worked. I was almost like, hey. How hard is it to get to the rear plug on the other side?
Well, there's no room.
There's no room at all back there.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, there is, but you got to go from underneath.
Oh.
Because the header, I mean, it's literally right there.
So you need to be under the car to get to it?
I would think so, unless you got little baby hands.
Oh, let me see. Oh, wow.
See?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see what you mean. Wow. These headers, man.
That's close.
Yeah, that's, okay, here's what we're going to do. We need to change the starter anyway.
Okay.
Why don't we get it up in the air? Let's take a look underneath. Let's see what this car is working with on the underside.
Okay.
We might as well change the oil. I got an oil filter. I've got some fresh Mobil 1 oil. I got a brand new starter. Let's just go ahead and take care of the stuff underneath we need to take care of, and we can see what this car is working with on the underside. And I'm tempted. I'm really tempted once we put that starter in to gently, you know what I mean? Quick, not like nee, like just and you can watch on the outside. We'll see if the motor's turning. If there's any sign that it's locked up or it's locking up, we stop immediately. Yeah. And then we tear everything down. Why tear it all down if there's literally nothing in the engine? It's a waste of time. You and I both want to go home tonight.
Well, we might try just the crank bolt too, because I think you may have underneath.
You think there's room underneath to get to it?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try that then. We'll try that. Let's get all this stuff out from under the hood, and let's get this baby up in the air. So we've learned some things.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, this is interesting. So the first thing we notice is spider webs. Lots of spider webs. And over here, more spider webs, thick ones. It's almost like the car maybe wasn't actually driving for a while, right?
No, maybe so.
Maybe.
Maybe they just moved in right after the flood.
Yeah. Here's hoping. I mean, everything under here actually looks really good. Surprisingly good, actually. As far as getting to the crank pulley, that's never going to happen. No, that fan would have to come out. Looking for a water line. Look at the water dripping off of the smog pump here. Oh, the smog pump is not hooked up, so the flood water went right into it.
Ooh.
Yeah, the smog pump has no plumbing and it's dripping water. So the smog pump is full of water. The alternator looks kind of fried, guys. Alternator looks fried. We've got a bit of a water line. ABS pump right there, also fried. Then you've got this water line up here. It looks like it made it to about the top of the frame rail. You can see a pretty solid water line there, guys. You know, underneath, not too bad. Looking up at the engine, we've got a code here. I don't know what that is. That is an F or an E, an FISEBB with a number 6 or a 9. It's a little damp down here, not super wet, but definitely a little damp. If you look up, you can see the block is got pretty fresh paint. The starter, as I knew this, like going into this automatically. Starter is trashed. We knew that. If you go up to those heads, those say SVO, I believe. I'm not familiar with any of that, so somebody has to comment below. And, I mean, no real leaks. A little damp down here, but not too bad. And then the transmission that I was told was brand new. I'm looking at it, and it looks newer. Definitely not, like, brand new, but newer. And I noticed right here, can you guys see what that says? That says Tremec. Huh. So I'm assuming it's a Tremec T5. Okay. And everything down here looks good. I mean, the exhaust looks great. H-pipe, shorty headers. We've got welded subframe connectors under here as well. Moving on now, we've got some Flowmaster 40s or something right here, I imagine. Yep, Flowmaster, of course. Flowmaster, probably 40s, so they're going to sound really nice. In the drive shaft here, moving on down, we've got a Steeda. Looks like a little spacer right here. So that's different. I've never seen anybody use like a billet aluminum spacer before, but maybe because of the different transmission, they had to use an adapter for it to fit. That'd be my guess. Then back here, the rear end may not be stock on this. It says Volusia Drivetrain, Holly Hill, Florida. Even has their phone number on it, so maybe somebody's gone through and done some work on the rear end as well. This is an interesting car, guys. It's got practically brand new tires that match. All four are Toyos. Fuel filter up here looks pretty good. I'm not seeing any signs of rust or anything, man. I mean, this car, honestly, this is in really, really good shape, especially for having like 140,000 miles on the odometer. So, I guess we drop a starter. Is that?
Let's do it.
You want to tear everything apart and try to turn the crank by hand, or just throw a starter on it and see if we could bump it?
Your car.
I'm just curious. Like, what would you do if it was your car?
If it was my car,
yeah,
I would try to turn the
crank.
But it's your car, so let's start it up.
So let's. I get it. So if we blow it up, it's my car, not a problem. You know, I kind of agree. Let's drop the starter. Hopefully, it's just a simple 2 bolts. Ooh, the wires are ooh, boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So there should be 2 bolts. Looks like there's one right there. Another one right there. And battery's disconnected. This starter should pop right out. And I shouldn't have said it should just pop right out.
Now you cursed us.
Yeah, now. Oh, and the clutch. I forgot to show them the clutch, Mike. Take a look in there. All right. Looks kind of nice. Looks relatively new. Someone definitely put some money into this one, guys. So let's cross our fingers and change out this starter. All right. Let's... Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh, come on.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on.
That's not oil, is it?
No, that's water.
Oh, crap.
I didn't think any water got into this.
Crap. How much?
That's the question, isn't it? Here we go. Okay. I mean, so far, that's a bit. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready. We're going to count it. 1.
Oh, that wasn't much.
Oh.
That wasn't much. Boy, that's some nasty looking oil.
Yeah, that's been in there.
That's
black
at that.
as black can be.
Oh, look at this in here. It's like sludge. Oh, you got to tilt it down with the button. Wrong way. Down is down. There you go. Look at that.
I'm learning how to work his camera. Ooh, it's...
That looks like grease.
You got a clog. Wow.
What is this? Why am I getting just worse and worse feelings about this car?
Don't start that. Don't start that.
I'm starting to feel like this is my Maserati.
You had to go there, didn't you? You had to go there. How many seconds of water came out of that Maserati? 10? 15?
A lot more than this. A lot more than this. Yeah, this oil is like... This is like grease.
Yeah.
Okay. Well...
Ooh, it's thick. It's really thick.
Great. Ooh, listen to that.
You know what that sounds like?
Me?
When you have to rush to the bathroom.
That's Taco Bell is what that is. Okay, well, we got another drain plug on the front of this. These engines have 2 drain plugs, and there comes some more water. Okay, well, I'm glad I decided we should change the oil. I was like, we're under here. Let's change the oil. I got a Wix oil filter. I got some good Mobil 1 oil. It's not as thick as this.
Wow,
it's still draining. I mean, this is literally like...
Yeah, it felt. Maybe he just put some stuff in there. Oh, look at this, shiny.
What?
It's shiny. Are those bubbles?
Those are water bubbles.
Oh, okay.
Shh, it's not shiny. It's not shiny.
What have you got?
Just a quick question for everybody. Why would an oil filter have water in it? See, I would think that the oil filter could not possibly have water in it unless somebody tried turning the engine over when there was water in the oil pan and it sucked it up.
Like when it was sitting at the yard, or...
That's all water, no oil. There's no oil in the oil filter.
Maybe it just hasn't come out yet.
Just water. No, that's it. That's...
Wow. How that's surprising.
I've never seen the oil filter full of water like that before. So...
And what were you saying about flooded cars? That you were going to specialize in those because they're so much fun?
That's what I just said. I said they're so much fun. And now I'm starting to think that maybe this is not a good business practice.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll fill it up with oil. We'll get the starter out. We'll take a look at that.
Well,
We're waving in the towel. No.
so an oil filter full of water, an oil pan with water in it, and now a starter. This is one of the worst I think I've ever seen. This is really, take a look at this. Lots of pretty colors though.
It is pretty.
Very, very pretty colors.
Where's your nut? That was
It
supposed to be on the
disintegrated.
end?
The nut literally disintegrated. And I've never encountered that before either.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're looking to see if it's still on there.
Yeah.
No, it's gone. So it's time to put the new starter in. We took our time and cleaned up the connector here. Okay, that's the main power wire. And then right here is the signal wire, the solenoid signal wire right there, little one. You're supposed to cut it, and then you splice it into the new starter down there. But here's something that I noticed when we were under here. Take a look at this side of the engine. See how clean it is? See how clean the header is? And take a look at the steering shaft, also very clean, right? Everything on this side, super nice and clean. Now let's come over here to this side. What? Covered in corrosion. I mean, all up the header and everything. Completely corroded on this side. Motor mount, nice and clean on this side. corroded on this side. What does that tell you, Mike? How do you think this car was sitting? Yeah,
Like that.
yeah, lopsided
She
somehow.
was tilted.
Somehow this thing was like seriously leaning, favoring the passenger side. How does that even happen, I wonder?
Maybe the guy's wife was rather large.
Oh, he's probably watching this video too.
Kidding.
I didn't
Totally
say
kidding.
I didn't say that. I'm not sure how that happens.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. Well, anyway, we've got a new Ford. I thought I got a Wix filter for it, but it's out.
Oh. You need to get something.
That, yes.
Some little bumpers on this.
That's going to be the end of me one day. New Ford. I think it's an FL1 oil filter. We are probably just going to throw the starter in
Yeah.
and bump it gently, right? And if it doesn't seem like it wants to turn, we'll stop immediately and then proceed to fight this thing to start taking out these plugs, because these spark plugs look like they are going to be like a nightmare.
Yeah.
There's
no room.
No, there's not. So that's the idea. Oh, remind me to put oil in it. When we lower it back down before we try to bump it.
Right. Okay.
And then I'm thinking maybe we should do just like we did on the other one. Since there was water in the engine and I didn't expect that, maybe we need to drain the trans
Okay.
just to be safe. That way,
Yeah. While we're here.
yeah, might as well.
All right. What's going on?
New cameraman. So we've got a new starter in. You want to show them the starter?
I'm just going to do the old-fashioned way.
There you go.
There, I see it now.
Brand new starter.
Yeah, looks great.
Now we want to find out if there's any water in this transmission. So I'm going to take the upper plug loose, the fill plug, and we'll see.
Oh, don't drop it down. Okay.
Ah, just trans fluid.
Well, which is thicker, transmission fluid or water?
Water's heavier, so it's going to sink to the bottom.
Right.
But water would have displaced the oil. And this fill is supposed to drip when it's full. If it was overfilled, it would be spewing out. So what we can do is, just to be safe, I'll put this plug back in, and we'll loosen up the bottom plug, and we'll see if anything comes out of it other than oil. If it's oil, we'll leave it alone.
Okay.
If water starts coming out of it, then we know that we've got water in the transmission.
It's still red, too.
It is. It's bright pink. Like, this is really nice. All right. So what do you think? Water in the transmission or no?
I don't think so.
I'm thinking no. We'll find out. Let's see what comes out.
Oh.
Whoa!
Did it spit on you?
He's a squirter. The transmission. No, that's fluid.
Okay.
That's fluid. We're good.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Nice, clean fluid.
Okay.
So we can tighten this down. Good. I don't have to drain and fill this dang thing. So
Yay!
I guess it's time to put her down.
Are we going to do the rear diff or no?
Nah. Well, if
We don't have to.
we could take the fill plug out of it.
Yeah.
I can even remember where it is, which I don't. I thought it was somewhere back here. There it is. Well, it's kind of hidden, but it's right up here.
Okay.
We could take it out and see if any water comes out, or if
Yeah.
we could put the bore scope in it. I don't know.
That'd be kind of fun.
All right, well, give me a minute. Let me. Ooh, steel braided brake lines. Look at that. Wow.
Fancy. We got it loose.
So the question is, do you guys think there's water
Yeah.
in this, or are we
No,
safe?
It's going to be nice and
Think so?
it's going to be just full of the right stuff.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh no. No.
What'd you do? Drop it down in there?
No, it's fine. I'm just messing with you. Let's use the test long here. Just take a peek inside. See, that's all oil running out.
Yeah, that's just, it's thick.
So that's just oil. Damn it.
You had it. There it is.
It's clean. The oil's right at the top.
Yeah. Okay.
That's very clean.
Good news.
All right. I'm feeling confident. What do you think we button this up and
Put some oil in. Don't forget your oil.
yeah, don't let me forget the oil. That's really important.
What time is it?
I guess it's time to just bump the starter
Yeah.
and see if it does anything.
Are you nervous?
I'm very.
I am.
We just put oil in it. Everything's put back together. Battery's
Okay.
connected.
Except the one spark plug we left off.
Except the one spark plug, because I already know we're going to be taking them all out anyway.
Yeah.
I just and the cooling fan. So, is the key in here?
I've never. Oh,
You drove it in here.
I did drive it in there. The key should be in there.
I've never. Yes, you have. No, key is not in here. It was under the seat.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't figure out how to get it out. And then there was that little button you have to push.
All right.
I'm going to stand over here just in case. Give me a bump. Look at the face.
It cranks.
Look at the face.
It cranks.
It sounded okay.
It sounded a little.
It didn't go,
Oh my goodness.
wants to try. What about the gas? You think there's water in the gas tank?
Do we even have? I hear the fuel pump.
Okay.
Check engine light's on, so we have an engine computer.
Come on, baby.
We should see if we've got any fuel pressure, if it's got a fueler, but I hear the fuel pump.
Okay. Hear that squeak every once in a while?
Yeah.
You think
It
so?
doesn't sound like it's trying to fire at all.
No, I don't think there's gas.
You don't think there's gas? Well, why don't we...
Let's look and see.
Yeah. Is there a relief valve up there?
I don't know what I'm looking at. I've never worked on these.
I'm going to do the old shake.
I hear even water stuff up here.
So, here's the relief valve right here. Interesting. They've got a gauge hooked up to it. That's aftermarket.
Okay.
So there's a fuel pressure gauge in the car. I didn't know that.
Oh, it's a little dial right
Yeah.
off of the steering wheel. I
No.
remember seeing that.
No kidding. So it tells you if you've got fuel pressure. I like that.
Is it that little one?
It's got fuel pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, but not much, not enough to run it, I don't think. It's only got like 18. Well, we dug into this thing more and more and more, and we're led to the conclusion that there's no spark. So this is where the coil used to go. I pulled the coil. And then over here in the fender wells where the ICM used to go. And I have both of those over here. We do have the check engine light, which works, which tells us that the computer is doing its job. And when you crank the key, the check engine light goes out. So it's, and we do have some fuel pressure, not quite what we want.
Like 10.
It's got 20. It's got 20 when it's cranking.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure this is supposed to have like 40 PSI. So I had the same problem on my Cobra, and I changed the fuel filter and it solved it.
Oh, okay.
So I may go get a OEM Motorcraft fuel filter for this, swap it out. Maybe that'll help with the fuel pressure, but it's not going to help with no spark.
Yeah.
So what we have here is the ICM, which was kind of in a dangerous spot. It was really low, just above the frame rail, which is where we saw the
water line.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the connectors inside are actually really clean. I know you guys can't see them, but if you take a look at everything else, man, the ICM is actually the black piece. The rest of this is just a heat sink. And you take this this control module off, you put some dielectric grease under it, and you reattach it to the heat sink. So I think I'm going to go ahead and replace that. And then this coil, this is a, what is this, a Blue Streak coil. I checked, and what was this thing running? Was it not, was it, no, it was 0.2, wasn't it?
0.2, and you want 0.7?
I think it's supposed to be like 0.7. Somebody will have to comment below for sure. I'm not entirely sure, but 0.2, I'm almost certain that that's not good. Boy, listen to that. So for tonight, we're gonna hang it up. I've got the battery on charge. Another thing I'm not happy about is the way it cranks. Doesn't it crank like something's binding up?
Cranks like an old man.
Yeah, it does. You would expect with a fresh hot battery and a hot jump pack on it,
Yeah.
this thing would just be nee.
With the
Yeah.
squeaky.
That's what I'm concerned about, is how bad the impeller looked on that Supercharger. I'm concerned that maybe it's binding up or something stuck in it.
Yeah.
I have no idea, man. I messaged the guy that used to own the car, and we'll see if he responds to me or not. But I asked him is there like some trick to this? One thing we do know is that we have no 12 volts coming to the coil.
Okay.
So obviously, without 12 volts to the coil, it's not going to run. So here's what I did. I took a wire, and with an alligator clip, I clipped it to the positive terminal, and I touched it to the positive on the coil. And what did it do?
Sparked.
Massive. It sparked like something was very wrong. It was not good, and that did not give us spark. So we are definitely having some kind of a problem with spark. And there's two things that control spark on this car. Well, three if you count the computer. But this distributor controls spark. However, if you pop open, let's move this out of the way. If you pop this open, take a look inside, it's actually very nice. Like there's no water got inside here. This looks new. Look how clean the wires and it. There's the magnetic pickup right there. You can see the reluctor wheel.
Yeah. Is this rough or is that smooth?
It's a little rough, but I don't think it would stop there from being. And we know we have no spark coming from the coil itself.
Yeah.
So the pickup in here could cause us to have a problem. I already pulled this plug apart. It's clean inside, so no water got in there at all. The distributor looks new, so I'm really leaning towards it being the ignition control module. I'm really leaning towards that, but I figure if we're going to change the IC, I might as well grab a coil. They're not expensive. Do them both at the same time, plug everything back together, come back, try it again with a fuel filter. Hopefully we can get some better fuel pressure out of this thing. And if we can get spark, maybe it'll run.
Maybe.
But again, the way it sounds when you're cranking it, just...
Do you remember where this goes?
I already replaced it.
Oh, okay.
That's the 20 amp fuse from number 18 for the...
oh, good old number 18.
Yeah, fuse number 18. If you know, you know, right? We know now.
We do.
We know now. Unfortunately, the fuse is good. It controls the computer and fuel pump and all of that good stuff. Spark as well, and that fuse was good. So we've got the battery on charge. We're going to call it a night. It's pushing 10 o'clock. We've got storms moving in. You've got a 3-hour drive back to Tulsa. I've got an hour drive back to my house. And, oh, there's sand. Is that sand? In the lights?
Uh-oh.
Look in there. Is that sand or no?
That does look like it,
looks-
a little bit. Or where it's just coming off.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we're going to call it a night. We're not going to end the video, though. We're going to come back. At least I will. I don't know what Mike's doing tomorrow, but I'm going to come back tomorrow, hopefully with some new parts, and we'll plug it back together and cross our fingers that maybe we can get it to at least try to pop off, do something. So stay tuned for that. Guys, if you don't see Monkey Wrench Mike again in this video, I want to say
back.
I want to say thank you to Monkey Wrench Mike for coming out and hanging out for the evening and messing around with this car. And you will see him again in the future. And if you don't know who he is, you ought to go check out his content, because he's got... How many cars did you say you had? I couldn't even believe it.
Too many.
How many? It was 16, 17?
I think 16.
You almost have as many cars as I do.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
But mine are worth way less. So,
Not that
yeah.
Maserati. Not that Maserati.
Yeah, that piece of junk.
He's got some cool cars on his channel. Maybe more to come. Are you going to buy that Edsel? Right, you're thinking about it, aren't you? You're thinking about 3,000.
I really like that other one, though.
Which one?
The Bentley, baby.
Oh, my God. Get the Edsel.
Bentley Brooklyn.
Get the Edsel. All right.
Edsel. There's nothing cooler than an Edsel.
That's true. It's true. Anyway, if you guys don't know who he is, I'm going to put a link directly below the video. Go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. Watch some of his videos. He would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. And we will see you guys tomorrow. All the parts I got today are Duralast parts. Some of you are going to say they're horrible. Some are going to say, yeah, they're great. Either way, I don't know. It is what it is. So, made in China, of course. Here's the thing. When you go out and you buy a factory Motorcraft fuel filter, do you know what you don't get with that filter? You don't get these. You don't get the clips that you need to replace every time you change a fuel filter. You don't get them. So, I opted to go a little bit cheaper and get a filter that has the clips. Next, here is our ignition control module, our new one, and here is the old one. I suspect this control module was underwater. I can't prove it. The connectors all look really good. There's nothing green or anything in there. I mean, it's a good-looking piece of electronics, but I got a hunch that it was underwater, guys. I really do. And if you take a look at this should be aluminum. You see all the staining on it, almost like corrosive material. On the fins, too, it's a little more difficult to see, and I've already tried cleaning it up some with a wire brush. But I think this thing was underwater. And without this, you're not going to get any spark. It's basically the little brain for the ignition. The coil, I tested it, and it just didn't come out to what I thought it should be. That doesn't mean it's bad. I'm an idiot. So we're just, for safety, going to replace it with a new Duralast version. So I'm going to get started on replacing these few little components here. We're going to come back. I've got the battery charged, fresh, hot battery, and we'll see if we can get this thing to run. If we can, great. If not, I don't know, man. I mean, if the car is totally screwed, if the Supercharger's trashed, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But this is exactly why I tell you guys all the time, I prefer stock cars. I really do. I prefer factory original car. I mean, unless it's something like 100 years old like that, that's different. But when you start getting into computerized cars and you've got a bunch of aftermarket components, you know how much one of these are? You have any idea how much? This is a Powerdyne Supercharger. Do you know how much this is? I was blown away. Like literally, I went to eBay, straight to eBay. I found like 2 or 3 of them. 2 of them are completely broken for parts. Those are $1,000 a piece. I'm not kidding. Broken, $1,000 a piece. So if nothing else, I can get $1,000 of my money back by just taking this piece off and putting it on eBay, right? If you want a good one, used, you're looking at $2,000, like $2,000 for this on eBay. I'm sorry, guys. And it gets so complicated because you could say, well, you know, if you wanted to, if this Supercharger becomes a problem and I don't really want to spend the money on it, you could enjoy this car without a Supercharger. You don't need like a 500 horsepower stroker to be a fun car. So you could just cut the Supercharger out of the equation and just enjoy it. The problem is the computer is going to have a custom tune on it. And I know you could go with the stock tune, right? No, you can't because none of this is stock. Guys, that distributor is not stock. That intake plenum is not stock. Nothing. I'm sure the mass airflow sensor also not stock. The injectors are not going to be stock because all of this has to be upgraded for the added power. You're going to have more air, obviously, more air intake. You're going to need a lot more fuel. So it's going to have a custom tune, custom injectors. You've got a custom intake. You've got custom exhaust. It becomes, and the engine, being a 347 stroker, is not a stock engine either. I mean, this whole thing starts getting a little too complicated, guys. So I'm not quite sure how this is all going to play out if this car doesn't fire up. So let's cross our fingers. Do it with me. Cross your fingers. And let's hope that here in a couple seconds, we're going to be able to get this thing fired up and running. Okay, guys, so I found something interesting. Again, we're going back to why I hate modified cars. Now, if you can get a hold of the person that built it and they're willing to talk to you and help you understand why things are the way they are, that's great. Maybe that's not such a bad deal. But in this case, the gentleman doesn't really seem interested in talking about this car, which is, you know, it's a little unusual. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm not blaming the guy for it, you know. I found this. Help me here, guys. So here is... I'm going to show you what I found here. I found this wire buried under the intake. Okay, this is the original wire to the coil of the car. Okay, but wait, then there's this wire. This is definitely an aftermarket wire. But then wait, there's this wire. So this wire was originally, when we got the car, this wire is plugged into the coil right here. Then this wire was plugged into the original wire for the coil right here. Why? That means there's got to be inside the car, right? You can see the wiring harness going back in. There's got to be an aftermarket computer. There's something else controlling spark and timing, I think, in this car. I don't know. I'm very confused. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the aftermarket crap. This is typically what I do. You cut out the aftermarket stuff. Let's plug in the original connector, and we'll just see. I did not replace the fuel filter. Dang it. I'm getting so carried away with the battery and all this other stuff and checking everything. I did not bother to check. Oh, I smell. Ooh, okay, that's what I smell. I thought I needed a shower. Where's the keys? Uh-oh. Well, what did I do with the keys? See, I'm getting carried away. I'm getting excited now because I'm kind of feeling like by removing... Great, the keys are missing. I feel like by removing the aftermarket stuff, maybe we have a chance of this thing running off the factory computer. We know, Monkey Wrench Mike and I tore the panel down there apart. Factory computer is still in here. All the wires are connected. But what we found is this whole network of wires, connectors, USBs, serial data link connectors, all right here. Okay, all just ever. We've got a Belkin connector right here. I don't even know what that is, like a hub or something. That we got all of these. So somewhere buried in here or back here somewhere, we have, look at this. This is an old printer cable. All right, so this is obviously used for tuning, but what are we tuning? And if you take a look right here, you see what we have here? We have another port. This is another USB port for a printer. So something in here was being tuned by probably a laptop. But my question is, does this car still operate off of the factory computer? Or is it now running off of some standalone system? I don't know, because I don't have anybody to tell me. So when all else fails, I say cut out all the aftermarket crap and start putting things back to stock and see what happens. All right, it's in neutral. We still have a check engine light. That's good. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That is a great sign. Now, fuel pressure is still terribly low at only 10 PSI, but it runs. It runs. Mother, I can't, I'm not gonna say it. What? Is it smoking? Ooh. Ooh, that doesn't smell very good. Okay, hold on. I'm way too excited right now. So I can already tell you, and I knew it, Supercharger's trashed on this. Supercharger is trashed. I promise you, at least I think, the Supercharger is what's making all the noise. I think it's what's dragging down this engine. And that sucks. Let's see if it's hot. I don't know. I got a bad feeling about this Powerdyne Supercharger. I really do. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm can't believe it runs. I'm literally blown away that it runs. And again, how did we do it? By finding hidden wires and disconnecting the aftermarket crap and putting it back to stock. Let's disconnect the Supercharger. Let me grab a ratchet. Let's take off this belt. And let's see how it runs then. I'm trying to figure out how's this. I need to hook up the mass airflow sensor, the intake air temperature sensor. And ideally, we would reconnect it from the throttle body back to here again, so that we could actually get some kind of a reading into the computer. Because right now it's running off of a base map tune. Anyway, I'm excited. It fired up, guys. It fired up for $2,200, $2,800. I'll figure it out here in a minute. But for stupid cheap money, even if we have to buy another Supercharger, I feel like as long as this thing actually runs like it's supposed to, this was so worth it. You guys ready for this? it turns out it's not the supercharger after all that was making all that noise. It's the smog pump. The smog pump is locked up from being underwater. There it is. Fuel pressure, we got it. The oh baby, oh baby, baby. Oil pressure, good. Water temperature, a little low. Boost, working. AFR is nice, very nice. Now, do we have a transmission? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Backwards, yep. We have a transmission too, guys. Are you serious? Alternator is dead, obviously. We knew that was coming, right? Let's open up this door. Let's whoo, boy, wow. Would you listen to that? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let me give her a little rev for you. Let's sit you guys on the ground back here. What do you guys think of that? Oh man, just gonna need an alternator. Listen to her. She sounds pretty damn good. Alternator. It'd be nice if we gave it a smog pump delete kit. That would be ideal. That alternator's filthy. She runs good. Guys, she really does. She runs very well. Man, oh man. Let's see if we can listen to that supercharger here. How it sounds. Ow. Shoot. Oh man. Another one saved from the clutches of death. Another hurricane car saved. Now, as with any flood car, there's more to it, guys, than just getting it running. You know what I mean? Running, driving, that's all fine and good. That's great if you can get it running driving. But obviously you're gonna have some electrical problems, like currently this window doesn't work at all. The other one does though. See that? Up and down, works fine. This one's dead. Power locks don't work. Power mirrors work. The lights all seem to work, and I think we have a fog. Do we have fog lights on this? If we do, I don't remember where they're at, but windshield wipers work. Lights, signals, brights, transmission, clutch, everything works. Seats don't work. Those are dead, so seats will need to be replaced, but you know, honestly, this one's really not too shabby, guys. We have a few lights on the dash. Check engine, battery light because the alternator's dead, an airbag light, an anti-lock brake light because the ABS pump is shot. I can't let her run for too awful long because obviously we got no water pump, but the good news is it's running. Okay, this means I can drive it under its own power in and out of the shop. And I'd love to drive it for you guys today. I'd love to take this thing on a run. I think that would be awesome, but unfortunately, without the alternator charging, a belt that's going out, what is it? The smog pump that is totally frozen up, and no water pump. Obviously, we can't very well take her out. So, give me a few minutes to sit here and just admire my new Mustang GT. And then we'll figure out how we want to close out this video. I sure wish we could take this car out for a drive right now. I can't bring myself to do it, guys. I would have to cut this belt off which doesn't matter. This belt is pretty well ruined from the smog pump anyway, so I'm going to have to get another one. So the issue I'm running into, I could cut this belt off and we could take it for a quick drive, but I mean, that's not a good idea, guys. Water pump not working is not okay. It's got aluminum heads. The last thing I want to do is destroy this engine, so we're not going to do it as much as I want to. We're not going to do it. I've had to do some measurements, which really sucks. Again, it's kind of why I hate modified cars like this. So the alternator has been relocated. The tensioner has been relocated because of the supercharger. The alternator is now down here. So everything has been moved around. So the belt is not the same belt that would have originally come on the car. So I'm having to do some mathematics to figure out if we delete the smog pump, and it looks like from everything I've read online, you can literally just take the smog pump off. Now, the smog pump is not even hooked up to this car anymore. This car's got custom headers, EGR has been deleted, custom exhaust, so the smog pump doesn't do anything anymore. It's just sitting down there. You can literally take it off of the car and put a shorter belt on, and you're good to go. So what's the problem? The problem is that would be the case if this was a stock car. It's not a stock car. They threw this massive supercharger here, which relocated the alternator, which means it's completely different now. The geometry is not the same. And it looks like by removing the smog pump, you cut out about 14.3 inches of belt. So I'm going to have to find a 6-rib belt that is the same size as this. I've already got the part number off of it. All right. And then find another belt that's approximately, it doesn't have to be exact, but approximately. I mean, look how much travel you've got for the for this aftermarket tensioner. Look at this. There's a lot of travel. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but I'm going to need a belt that's this size, but is about 14 inches shorter to compensate for cutting out that smog pump. So I'll take the smog pump out from the bottom. Alternator, honestly, it looks like maybe to get this alternator out, maybe I can do it from, I'm hoping I can do it from the bottom. Otherwise, it looks like I'm going to have to take out the supercharger. Is it the end of the world to remove the supercharger? Probably not. I just really don't want to if I can help it. And this is going to be fun. That's going to be for another video, guys. Obviously, in the next video, I've already found the alternator on at AutoZone. I've already got the belt lined up at AutoZone. I've got everything I need. We can delete the smog pump, replace the alternator, and then if everything works out right, we should be able to hop in this thing and take it for its first drive. There's no sense in taking this thing off the lift, getting it out. It's dark anyway. You wouldn't be able to see anything. And then, you know, we're fighting a water pump that's not working. So where's the keys? Let's do one more fire up. It should start right up. I think all of that dragging that the engine was doing was because of that locked up smog pump. That's what it was, guys. The locked up smog pump was dragging down the engine. I'll bet it cranks over just fine now. Hear that? Super nice. Super nice. And it really does run pretty good, guys. We don't even have a check engine light on right now. Really? That's actually incredible. We have an anti-lock brake light because the pump was underwater. We got an airbag light because the airbag module, I believe, sits under here. And I believe that was probably underwater. Turn on the lights. Do fog lights work, I wonder? That was probably underwater too. I don't think that works. Man, this is incredible. It sounds great. I wish this window worked, but that's a project for another day. What do we got here? This vehicle is equipped with one of the following: part number 6201, part number 6425, or part number 8501, legal for sale and installation in California, MSD. Interesting. All right. Well, the AFR, the air fuel ratio, is great on this, guys. It seems to be running just fine. Definitely sounds like got a little cam in it. The exhaust sounds wonderful. It's not too loud or obnoxious. It actually sounds really good, guys. It sounds really good. I'm not going to leave this thing running. I just wanted to fire it up for you one more time before we shut her down and call it a day. There's a little hidden switch under here somewhere that shuts off, which is weird. It's a manual switch to shut off the wideband. There's your heater, and then shortly after it warms up the heater, I guess, it should jump back in and show us the air-fuel ratio. This car really is pretty nice. I'm not gonna say it's got $20,000 into it. I don't know. Completely honest with you guys, I don't know. I'll let some of you experts drop your comments down below, and you can tell me if you think that there's $20,000 into this car. Obviously, it's an older build. None of this stuff is new. Oh, are you serious? No way. What? The key fob works too? Obviously, the door locks don't work. But the alarm arms itself, the trunk release works. No kidding, man. This is getting better and better. Let's pull this out of here. I'm curious what else is back here. We've got a car cover. So I'm guessing she'd been sitting up floor mats. Oh, okay. We got some Ford Racing floor mats, the rubberized variety. We've got 1964 to 1994 front plate. Got some wet valve cover gaskets. This is good. Edelbrock Ford 5.0 liter replacement. Includes plenum. Those must have been intake gaskets then. Yeah, it was intake. It also looks like it's got an intake spacer on it as well. Ooh, a car duster. That's seen better days. What do we got here? What is it? Let me guess, a Ford towel? Is that what this is? What is this? This is a Diver USA towel. Then we've got a lid. Okay. Some little trees. Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. The frickin' antenna with a little tree stuck to. Hold on. I'm getting excited here because I just found some stuff in this car. All right, number one, this tiny antenna, this thing out here in the boonies, this doesn't do anything for us here. Okay, let's take that off. Let's put this on. We'll leave the little tree air freshener though, just for good measure. No, we won't. We'll absolutely take that off and throw it on the ground. Okay, we'll put this back in the trunk though. I'm curious though, because I found some belts back here. It's almost like somebody was thinking ahead. What else we got? What is this? I don't know what. Maybe I don't want to know what that is. Let's see what else we got in here. There's a Dayco belt. Poly rib. A 5060505. You guys see that? Why is this camera going so far up? Goodness gracious, there we go. So we got a belt. We've also got another belt in here too. I wonder if this is for, oh, this is an old belt, I think. Yeah, it looks used. So this is a 5061055. Maybe worth holding on to some of these. We got some jumper cables back here too, the spare tire, which is flat. Okay, and that's it. Yeah, this, you can tell it did get a little wet back here. Man, guys, I love this car. I love the color. I love the stripes. I love the Cobra R wheels. I think those are absolutely sick. She's a beautiful car, guys. Beautiful car. Not so nice that you don't want to drive it. You know what I mean? It's not one of those cars it's like, oh, this is too clean. It's a show car only. This is something, guys, I'd take out and drive the hell out of it. Like, daily. I'd daily this car. I wouldn't even care. Probably wouldn't hurt to do some fluids on this later. We already checked the trans fluid in the rear diff. Everything looked good, but I mean, just for safety. You know what I mean? I don't think it'd hurt to just change out the fluids for safety. Coolant as well. I am going to probably just start a new video right now for you guys. I'll probably be working into Christmas morning for sure at this point, but I want to go ahead and get the next video of this car filmed, get that alternator and that belt replaced, get the smog pump deleted, and hopefully in the next video, you guys come with me and we can take this bad boy out for a drive. I'm super stoked and super happy with how this car has turned out so far, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I am going to get out of here and start making you guys a fresh video on this car.